Picking shitty man was to actually appeal to that particular demography because it's got history with all this Boko Haram and what have you, for real. But now they are saying politically, you don't get any political weight. And people within the around Tifnubu are considering changing him. So this morning, Bayo Onofunuga came out. This is when I believe that something is. And it's good. Because I'll tell you why. But wait. Onofunuga came out and said, Tifnubu will choose his vice after the APC convention. Like, normally, right? There is no vice president ticket or have you in their setting. So it's only one ticket, and that is the candidate. He will now choose his own vice. They will now call it joint ticket, but that's just literally, right? Now, for them to be making and releasing statements official, the presidency, they said Tifnubu would choose his own vice, his running mate. That's the word they use. His running mate. Why is he going to need to choose his running mate? Why can't they just say that Tifnubu shitty man will continue? Is that not what it should be? Anyway, they say it is politics. So now let me now tell you why some of these things matter. Whether those who are forming coalition or those who are forming the campaign and all that, or what have you. I'm talking about Tifnubu and his gang. Majority of us believes that Tifnubu currently holds all the cards. That if Tifnubu, by any means, failed in rigging himself, because I'm trying to choose the right share you get. I don't want to say win because he never would kind of win any election. Share you get. So people believe that he currently holds all the cards. And if he failed to rig himself, if he failed in his attempt to rig himself, he would have to blame himself, nobody else. What that means is that they are saying their election is Tifnubu's to lose. Do you understand? Like, it is, no matter what the mood of the country is, no matter what everybody is, people know that all those things won't count with the way you get. So, if Tifnubu is eventually overwhelmed, then that's up to him. Doesn't mean that people support that. Don't get me wrong. It is how bad and how rotten the system is that people have become so hopeless about it. Nobody is, putting their money on anything that way, that much. Well, no sensible person, I would say. However, there are others who also believe that whatever it is that made Tifnubu your president today is one huge conspiracy that if they tell you how it all cooked and perfected, you will realize that this Tifnubu is just an ordinary area thug, area bureau. That without this conspiracy thing they did, that is gallivanting and then you get that you are calling him this or that. If we didn't do what we did, that if we expose what we did, you will realize that is nothing. And there are those who believe that. As much as you and I can hear that and probably just laugh, like, Benny. But there are those who believe that. And these people includes the likes of this El Rufai and maybe some of these guys around Shitty Man. Now, why do you think it is good that all of them are presently pulling whatever they call the resources for their own war? Since you and I will likely not participate physically. So now let me tell you how a good thing this is likely going to be. So number one, we all agree that probably 99% of these guys have the same mindset. They have the same, what have you, yeah? And maybe there is a 1%. yeah, that could possibly be locking in within that means where, but they have been overwhelmed and swallowed. But if by any means, right, they manage to pull themselves in their coalition, and with the mindset of those who believe that no matter the power of incumbency of Tinubu, it go hear am from their side in the north. And with all that permutation, and Tinubu as well, with the confidence that they are just making noise, just nonsense. I will do 8 years and all of that stuff. That mindset simply means if Tinubu rigged them, some of them have said it too, that is the end of Nigeria. And maybe I can join you to Yemu, end of Nigeria call. Now, the end of Nigeria is not going to be something that you are just going to wake. It's going to be like, it's not something that you're going to go to bed tonight and you're going to wake up tomorrow and Nigeria has broken to different. No. You see, series of events will lead to when everybody will say, at this point, since everything don't scatter now, at this point, you better know everybody share their gari. The criminal political class led by the APC, Egbekegbe, and others, they have created an alternative world for themselves that no matter how many people killed or how many people became impoverished, they continue to tell themselves that they are doing well. So they have grown pretty much like, desensitized, sort of like they have become so distanced from the people they are supposed to be leading. There is a huge disconnect, which has created huge, sort of like, massive apprehension, anger. There are so many people are just looking for one reason to explode, right? But they don't care. So, and it keeps degenerating and degenerating. Systemic corruption, abuse, human rights abuses, name it. So while that is ongoing, millions of them are going to group into all these sides. There are those of them that will believe indeed that Tinubu must go, APC must go. In fact, it's no longer about Tinubu. APC must be dead completely. But APC will say, well, they hold the power of incumbency, so they could crush you, get the military and the rest of them out. Now, when things get that tense, if they hold their ground, I am talking to those of you that will be by, if you hold your ground, that could be the beginning of an end. And that's why all of this should interest you, because wherever spark that people have been kind of like anticipating, series of events will lead to it. And then after that, when everybody will now be like, we are renegotiating, if Nigeria still want to be a country, every ethnic nationality, every tribe must actually agree that they want to still live together and be together. But that is not something that you're going to wake up one morning and boom, you are in your new country. No. It is the actions and inactions of these guys that will then lead to an implosion. They are already living with impunity. Impunity is that they are above the law. They can do anything they want. Now, if you now lead that to your election, which is a charade, everybody expect them to rig you. Then surprisingly, more of you are now interested and determined. Then they still went ahead to rig you. And this time, nobody could hold you. Not even those who put coalition together. By the time the whole castle will burst. So that is why this is very, very important. And you know something? If you are a Biafran supporter, if you are for Yoruba nation, if you are for Kwararafa nation, the Middle Beltans, if you are for Ijaw nation, if you are for Arewa nation, you know something? When you are politically conscious this way, there will always be the fallout. You see, the corrupt, compromised system that these guys have put in place will only end in one thing: collapse. And when that collapse happens, there will be some of them that would have to run away from that contraption. No, if those lucky ones will have to run away. So, in order for your own country, when the conversation about self-determination, or self-rule, or autonomous rule, or regionalism, whatever everybody wants, you will be involved. That's why you have to pay attention. Don't say nothing concerns me with their election. No. You need to be that very much active and enlightened, educated about all of this, because there will be fallout. It is all going to end in some not so good place. I see all these guys. They are digging their own shallow graves. They are greed. I've said something about the bubble bursting someday. When that happens, well, maybe for the record, they won't be able to actually blame anyone but themselves. So, shitty man, me and they pray, may they change them. We say whether it's there or it's not there, it doesn't have any meaningful thing to me. My other prayer is just simply because I can see the energy in you, the obedient, and you've always have a special place here for a reason. What? Number one, I am not among those who believes that after understanding the complexity of that contraption, right, and the system that is running, right, with the same constitution, that fraudulent constitution, and every other thing that is wrong with that place, even making Obi president will not fix that. There's something that in being part of this whole process can fix, and that is helping to channel that energy, that rage in you. Because a lot of you believe strongly that you just want to work in Nigeria, which is good. So you know that, like, once you are able to, mind you, before I even continue, now, when Obi becomes part of their coalition, majority of you would have to possibly forgive the criminals responsible for the terrorism that Nigeria is dealing with today, as well as the corruption that led to what Nigeria is also dealing with today. So you have to actually live with that. I don't know how many of you who can, but here, I don't really care what the outcome will really be. Normally, right? For everybody who knows better, right? The ideal thing is if like Obi, if Obi himself is to actually really do something that will impact everyone, it will all start with that fake constitution. With that fake constitution, right, he is as good as a puppet in the hand of the establishment. All of now will think you are removing some criminals, not knowing that you are ushering in another set of criminals who are now going to be under the banner and shadow of a man that they will need his integrity to actually pull off this whole thing. But the integrity is not enough. They're going to get dirty, and the dirty criminals are going to get involved. It's going to be about interest. So maybe you can believe that the only person that will be representing your interest in that coalition will be Obiabi. I'm talking to the obedient, by the way. But here is a good thing. Without the constitution being gone, any other thing they are actually carrying out in the name of that constitution is pure rubbish. You can predict where it's going to end. But hey, the fact that you have that determination and that conviction that a new Nigeria is possible is enough of a fighting spirit. And it's good because it is enough to say, what you are going through, you deserve better, right? And you want better, whatever it's going to take. Abi? Then you get to that point when, the big elephant in the room call you, pull his own string, and as expected, and it becomes so obvious that again, this time, is lost woefully, but they don't do the abracadabra again. Here you get. My bet is on you. That's why I have a special place for you, the obedient Omayegun's Diary Politico, because you are the only group with reliable, dependable conviction that is not influenced by money. And that is something. It may not mean anything to other people, right? You are the people who were not motivated with money. And despite all the rigging, they couldn't even deny at least 6 million of you. That is something. So to me, number is powerful. All right. So let's say you join others because you have to join them. You are going to have to forgive some of these criminals who are going to team up with Toby, right? So now let's say they started the abracadabra again. My money is on you. That whoever is the INEC guy or whatever, or the military or the whatever is that time, they won't be able to hold you because it's going to be you. And that's your dream of a future of Nigeria. That's your dream of Nigeria. And then Tifnubu and his gang in the middle, laughing at you, telling you that, oh yeah, what back. So it's now left, it will be left to you that, what are you going to do? Because you have to pass them now. But that is the day I'm putting my money on. No. Somebody said the day will never come. Okay, fine. I don't have, I don't have dog in the fight. I can manage my expectations. So what that simply means is, people said that when they were rigging you, the obedient out in 2023, one of your weakest sort of like point was that there were no strong presence of those who rejected the same charade from northern part of Nigeria. So it was so weak, it was not coordinated. That even up to today, people believe that Obedient didn't protest the rigging. I don't think some of you even remember that they protested the rigging. Do you remember? They did. They did in Abuja. I think they did in Port Harcourt as well, Rivers. I'm not sure that of Lagos. It was so ineffective that we are here today. So now, I'll be putting my money on you because I cannot convince you not to participate in their charade. You are going to participate anyway. The only thing that will stop you from participating is if they don't make Obi the presidential candidate. Abi? Well, that's my own prediction. A lot of you will just be like, no, I'm not interested again. Abi? But I'm saying that if they make Obi their presidential candidate of their coalition against Tifnumbu, that means there won't be any too much, there won't be. So if they make Obi the presidential candidates, even though some of them are expecting Atiku to be. But anyway, Sha, I'm putting my money on you, the obedient. So let's say they manage to make Obi that, and then you watch them rob you again. So my money is on you that will be the beginning of that revolution. And I mean it. And maybe it's not going to happen because I also have a theory that they know that the only threat to the establishment, which means the entire thing can actually really collapse. Everybody may run away. That threat is Obi. And that is why everybody talks about him all the time. The Lagos Abobakus, the Lagos Agberos, supporting Tifnumbu, they have it on record that they have actually killed their own opposition supporters, brutalized them in Lagos and few other places. But you see disobedient with phones, data, and other gadgets on social media are more dreaded. And you may ask yourself, why? And people who are like career politicians, career gurus, people who knows that, Nigeria politics is about shooting guns and paying money. And they have been doing it for decades. How can they be so afraid of people with phones and internet data? It is because they believe that with what you have there, if you should, for one day, use your most potent weapon against them, it's over. And what is that? Your number. So others, that theory of them luring Obi and you, the obedient, to a coalition, then dump Obi in order to break the cycle. Because around that time, he can't go and say he wants to go another party and be presidential. It will look so desperate. And around that time, so many of you will probably have gone fatigued, like disinterested again, like you're not interested anymore. So a lot of people are, or maybe not a lot of people, some people are saying the idea of coalition also have Tinubu's hands all over it. So it is